Hello, Jason Nesbitt here, President of the Aguasabon Chamber of Commerce. A little bit of history of the Chamber of Commerce. Chamber of Commerce has been around in the Schreiber, Terrace Bay, Jackfish, Paceplat, Rossport area for well over 30 years. It's kind of had its ups and downs. Just before COVID is kind of when the last little mellow spot went with the Chamber of Commerce. We had a lot of business burnout, a lot of volunteer burnout from a lot of the executive and the directors are business owners, obviously. A lot of them are sole proprietors. So businesses were starting to suffer a little bit. A lot of those businesses, again, couldn't attend meetings. So what basically happened is the chamber dried up. We ended up with a newer president that had just joined the group as a director only a year before, ended up being president. And then Bora is almost like everyone abandoned ship on her, which wasn't really the case. It was just, it was kind of burnout just at, wrong time. Then along came COVID. So, the chamber went into a complete hiatus, just like most businesses did. So coming just as COVID was just starting to come out, that's when election times were happening. So the Chamber of Commerce, again, for over 30 years, had been running an all candidates night. So both municipally, provincially, federally. Provincial and federal, we kind of got out of that business the last 10 years. It was just too much politics trying to run that. And most people didn't really worry too much about provincial and federal politics. So even though the chamber was at a bit of a hiatus, it was always been a, kind of a thing of mine because I was usually one of the hosts for it for 20 years. So Sylvie Hall, who was the president at the time when the chamber went, I don't want to call it dark, but went a little bit gray. Her and I got talking one day and said, God, geez, we really need to do an all candidates night. Like the taxpayers need to know what these candidates are all about, and it's the perfect platform. So I said, well, I know, but the chamber's not really up and running right now. So she says, well, why don't we do it anyways? Me and you. I said, well, I don't know if I'm willing to, but I said, well, why don't we run it through the chamber, even though the chamber's not really here yet, but it'll be a good insurgent to hopefully get interest back in the chamber again. So lo and behold, we ran the all candidates night. People were very, very appreciative, not just of the event, but to hear that the chamber was, thinking of getting going again. So it lit a little bit of a candle, a little bit of fire under some of us. I had no real ambition actually to be involved in the chamber because technically I'm not a business owner right now. I'm a manager at a business, but I don't own a business like I did for 25 years previous to that. But a lot of the business people kind of approached me and said, you've done a really good job. We need your help getting it going again. And I'm like, well, not that I have time to do this, but the business community needs it. I'm a big believer in our communities. So I said, well, what the heck? So sure enough, we started having some behind the scenes meetings. Do we want to get a Chamber of Commerce going again? We had some great support, surprisingly, from the Thunder Bay Chamber of Commerce. They had an intern there that's trying to rejuvenate a lot of the North Shore and Greenstone chambers, and then as well as all the way to Kenora. So we had a few meetings with them. And again, that's just got the ball rolling. And then we had quite a few meetings since then on the side with all sorts of different business people. Some said they were stepping up and they never showed up, but that's the way it works, right? So at any rate, we ended up having 9 people. The one first meeting we had 15 out, and 9 were willing to step up and say, yeah, I want to be a part of this. Ironically, 80% of them have no idea what a Chamber of Commerce even is, potentially. A lot of them are home-based businesses, so it's not traditional brick and mortar that we used to represent. So it's neat. It just goes to show where our communities have changed from a business perspective as well. So there's definitely some excitement, in the room, so to speak, and around the table. We're looking at hiring a staff person again to kind of do a lot of the behind the scenes dirty work, which will hopefully help prevent that burnout because again, people are busy in their lives. I was up last night for 3 hours doing chamber work. Well, I'd love for someone else to do that kind of stuff, right? So we're super excited about that. Then everyone always asks, well, why a Chamber of Commerce? What's so important about a Chamber of Commerce? And I mean, really it is, you've got to remember in life, and it doesn't matter whether it's business, as a group of hikers, pick whatever cause you want, you're always stronger together. So the business community is stronger together, and we've seen it, we've seen proof here in Schreiber and Terrace Bay. When business A supports business B, they both do better. You get business C that I don't want to play in the sandbox with you guys, and business C isn't doing near as well as A and B. I mean, so it's that collaboration that really brings the business community together. And again, little events like a business after 5, you get together over a cocktail, you let your take your suit off, let your guard down, so to speak, and you talk with other businesses about what kind of challenges you're facing, what kind of successes you're having. And next thing you know, it's, well, yeah, I had that happen to me last year. This is what I did. Oh, what a great idea. Next thing you know, they're trying that. Now they're doing better as well. So, it's a lot of that collaboration that'll keep our business community strong. Again, you drive around Scriber in the last, year here. We went through the slump of COVID, but I mean, really, we did, we're doing fairly well in Scriber and Terrace. A lot of new businesses are opening. A lot of businesses are shifting. We've had businesses closed, no doubt about that, for a multitude of reasons. But it's like that in the world, right? Everything changes, everything shifts. So definitely, I think super important to have a chamber of commerce, just to keep the business community together, to keep it focused. And it's just, I always said we always like to have the campaign that we want people to try local first, right? Give your local business a shot. Go visit your local business. Half the time you don't even know what they have. You're shocked when you get in there, right? So yeah, and a lot of times, with we always run a Christmas campaign every Christmas. So it's just an excuse to get people off the couch, before they head out of town to shop. So they go out, on the end of November and start, snooping around at whatever deals are on. And it's funny if you sit in the background of a lot of those businesses and you listen to the conversation. Oh man, I never knew they had this. Oh, is this ever awesome? So it's kind of neat, right? And again, the chamber does that. The chamber promotes. Get out and try your local businesses. So one of the other things that Chamber of Commerce potentially will do. So we've had people bring ideas to the chamber or bounce ideas off the chamber. This is something I'm thinking of starting. Now, per se, it's not necessarily the chamber's mandate to nurture that or, to give business advice potentially. But again, that's where the contacts come into play. Then we say, hey, you should be talking to Superior North CFDC. Hey, you should be talking to the business office of Thunder Bay. So it's definitely, the chamber is a vehicle, I guess, if you want to call it that, kind of like a referral. Or if someone has tried it in the past, we have somebody who wants to start a business. Oh, I don't know if you want to try that. Joe did and it didn't work well. Go talk to him. Next thing you know, they go talk and they either change their business model or decide that, before I'm broke, I'm getting out, kind of thing, right? So yeah, those are some of the other ways the chamber helps for sure. So with all that being said, we're very excited for the future. We've got, again, a positive energy around the table. I think it's going to carry us into the next year or two. Lots of new ideas at the table. We're always looking for new ideas. So if someone has a new idea, we'd love to hear it. It never hurts to try something. We're looking forward to hopefully every business in our catchment area being a chamber member, hopefully participating in some of the chamber events that we're going to be doing. And we're looking forward to an awesome 2023-24. The meeting's already in order because we were in order when we did our in-camera.
Can close it?
No, we can close it, yeah. So item number 2, minutes of the executive meeting, March the 8th, 2023. They are in your package and provided. The plan will be in the future, just for everyone's reference, that hopefully we'll have this stuff emailed out to you ahead of time or put in the Dropbox on Facebook, wherever it is. That way if you want to review it at home, obviously it just saves time, right? So, but everything is there. Hopefully everyone's had a chance to read it over. Any questions or comments? Oh, actually, sorry, I need a mover to accept the minutes first. Carrie will move, seconded by Clarita. Okay, good. All in favor? Lots of hands. Good. Carrie, morning.
Morning.
Thank you. Any business arising from the minutes? No? I like it. Okay, item number 3, treasurer's report. Again, our treasurer technically does not have any kind of a report yet, officially, because the treasurer is Kelly, but Sylvie does have our bank statement still. So what are we sitting at right now?
So for the gift certificate account, it went down a bit because the account fee was $65. So it's now down to $1,960.70. And then the operating account is $27,201.01.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you. And I do have new business. Oh, yeah, I got a banking update. So we'll talk more about the banking stuff under old business. Any questions at all about that? Not much to really talk about. Not much has changed. Okay, item number 4, committee reports. Again, we had a little in-camera session. The hiring committee did meet with a candidate. It was unanimously agreed by the directors that we will reach out to the applicant and offer her a casual job at the chamber. I won't mention any names yet because no one's accepted, but if she does, look forward to, we'll definitely be doing some sort of a post and whatnot about that. She seemed very keen and very interested in doing it, so I'm hoping and confident she will accept, but so that'll be awesome to help the chamber out. So that's it for that one. Number 5, old business. Chamber staffing. So again, as I just basically covered, that we will offer that position to this young lady. They will be working, I guess I can disclose what we've decided to do just for the rest of the business community. Our ideal goal is 20 hours a month for this person. The first couple of months, we know darn well she's going to do well over $20 a month because there's lots to do to get the chamber back up and running. But we're prepared to do that. So yeah, very excited to have someone assisting us in everything that we do. Any questions, comments about staffing at all, or no? Okay, good. Business after 5. So we talked a little bit about that idea of having another business host the business after 5. So I approached Spadoni Motors, my employer, and said, hey, if you want to do business after 5, so they're on board 100% to do it. In the past, we've charged a fee. The event charged a fee, which went back to the business to help cover the cost. Spadoni's has agreed they don't want to charge a fee. It's going to be free for everyone to come out, especially with the first event, because technically we don't have any members yet. So I mean, this is a good opportunity to kind of mix our business or our membership drive in with an event. So that'll be probably within the next 3 weeks, for sure, before the next month. Like, we want to do it before the end of May, for sure. The other interesting thing is that Bobby Spadoni also is thinking that he'd like to do an open house of business after 5, kind of a mix and mingle at the golf course in like July area, just to kind of help promote the golf course. And I said, well, hey, I mean, I don't necessarily know if we want to do one every single month, because eventually we're going to burn out, right? I'd be happy if we could do one every quarter, you know what I mean? But again, we're just starting up, so hey, if we can do a couple before the end of the year, I mean, bonus, right? So, and I just, obviously they'd have to, we'll cross that bridge if the golf course is going to do something, come July or whatever. But I mean, that's a little ways away, right? Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Gary, you have a question?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh. So yeah, so look, go ahead, Sil.
Does someone have to follow up with Spadoni's for a date? Do I have to go?
I'll work with
Okay.
like Bobby and Danny and SJ and figure out a date for that, and with our new staff person. Because yeah, we definitely want to promote it, far in advance.
Yeah.
If we're going to tie it in with our membership drive, we definitely want to make sure we have our membership letter and all our info like ready to go. So there's definitely lots of work to do in the next 3 weeks to get that going. But again, we can we'll get our person to make some posters, Facebook posts, all that fun stuff. So yeah, it should be. I'm hoping it's a fun event. Usually they started it right at 5. 5 to 8 or 5 to 9. That way, if someone is a 9 to 5 person and they want to swing by right after work, so to speak, right, they'll swing by right at 5. Other people may want to go home and chill out for a bit and stop by at 7:30. I mean, whatever works, right? So, anyway, it's exciting. And it was neat because the very first business after 5 we did was hosted by Spadoni's. So Bobby right away, wow, I want to do it again because we were the first. I said, well, whatever. I mean, it's let's do it. Letter number C. So membership drive / membership letter. So a couple different things to talk about there. I passed out to everyone the membership form. This is our old membership form. We had more or less agreed at our last meeting that we would keep the membership rates where they were, basically before COVID, which were 55, 95, 125, and so on. There was some talk that, because we're just getting started, because we're going to be getting started almost May, June, basically, do we offer a one-time discount for people, as an incentive to get back with the chamber? So I just basically took the numbers, almost 50% of the numbers on the far right-hand side, 30, 50, 65, etc. The thought is if that's what we're going to offer, we do up the form, regular rate, 2023 promotional startup rate or something like that. I know Marathon Chamber offers like a 2-year membership, or they'll knock like 10 or 20 bucks off if you pay 2 years in advance, which is something maybe we look at next year. So I don't know, what are the thoughts of the group to potentially offer a discount?
I think it's fabulous.
I think
because you're gonna get more people.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Yep.
It's, I mean, I feel like it's only fair, right?
Especially
Partway through the year.
Yeah.
But it's just like when you look at charging an entry fee to go to a function, if you're charging $20, you're charging $5.
Yeah.
But you get way more people at $5 than you do at $20.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So on the second chart, that is the discount or?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
30,
it's
50, 65.
So
Yeah.
55 less 30.
No, sorry, 30
this
would be
would
the
be the-
new rate.
This is the rates
Oh,
for
the new
23.
rate. Oh, okay.
That would be
Just for this year,
Yes.
just for
And you-
this year, yeah.
Yeah, so you get 25 off, let's say.
We're gonna change it to the option of 2 years. Does that mean the bylaw has to be changed?
No. It might have to be amended
Amended?
for a discount, I'm not sure, I'd have to read the wording in there. Yeah, so, or we have to amend it just so that we could offer potential discounts or something, right? So, but yeah, any comments online at all on that?
No, sounds good to me.
Okay, so if everyone's in agreement, then that's what we'll offer those discounts for that. The other big thing, obviously, like I said, this was our membership form before, which also come then, and then this one here. So this was, you had the membership form and then the code of conduct on the back. And then we also had a separate letter, why the benefits of joining the chamber, why should you be a chamber member? So I'm hoping that we can maybe summarize that, why be a chamber member, and what the benefits are on the application form. So almost move everything up, halfway and then kind of have at the bottom, the benefits of being a chamber, and then you'd have code of conduct in the back. Instead of offering 2 or 3 different pieces of paper, if we can summarize it onto one. I mean, it may be pretty busy, mind you, that's the only downside, but again, it's just, save paper or whatever, right? Again, I go back to Marathon Chamber right now, everything they have, or everything.
It's freaking cool.
It's all it is.
I'm like jealous over here.
And it's online, it's, check the box, so
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. So I'll work with Dana Bobrowski-Lowndes and figure out maybe for next year, or a staff person can work with her. Because
I think it's basically like a Survey Monkey kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like
maybe,
like that kind of deal, and
Yeah.
everything just pops up and they
And I
just
don't,
print.
at the very bottom of it, does it say mail your check in still? Or is there a way to e-transfer? I never wrote
I
that
think
part
there's
down.
a little bit of everything.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, it's something we can definitely look at.
So
right?
looking at this, why would you not move this section down to the bottom, code of conduct and the reasons
Yeah, for
why?
sure. Yeah.
So move this down and then that way,
That's your
it's-
cutoff,
this
yeah.
is your cutoff, this is your information, they get to keep the
Yeah.
rest of the
The rest of
information.
the
Yeah,
paper.
no, good idea, for sure, yeah. Yeah, and we need that information
That's right,
anyways,
that's what I'm
for
saying,
sure, right?
yeah, like you're taking away all the information they.
Yes, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, usually I'd have to get them to do 2, so
Yeah.
I can have one and they have
Yeah,
one, right?
just
Yeah.
cut off the bottom and
Yeah.
be done with it, and say, here you go, there's your information, save on money, save your tree.
I like it, so I can pay you the big bucks.
Yeah.
Good, okay, and membership letter, so that'll be one of the big things our staff person's gonna be doing in the short term, is getting all that stuff together. Sylvia also had the great idea that the new staff person, obviously no one's gonna know her, she just moved here from Toronto potentially. So the thought is that, maybe I take a couple hours one day and literally take her around and describe her before the business after 5 happens, and introduce her to the businesses, or not that many inscribe her. Talk about the business after 5. Hey, I hope you're interested in being a member. Worst case, leave the form here. We'll be happy to collect it at Spinoni's after 5, whatever, right? Sylvie, and then maybe if we find even 1 or 2 other chamber members that are willing to volunteer, take them around to Terrace Bay businesses. I mean, some of the home base is kind of hard, you're still in your pajamas, we're stopping in, you know what I mean? But at least the brick and mortar
Sonia full of
downtown.
flour.
Raisins and chocolate.
This is dope fire.
Come on in, you're rolling dough.
Fire.
Easy. So I think it is a great idea for this individual to get to meet the business community as well. So yeah, well, I think it's an awesome
Kind
idea.
of show her where they are too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
they're not all necessarily all uptown or
Yeah.
the subscriber. They're a little bit scattered.
yeah. And I don't, did she say how long? did we ask her how long she's been in Scriber?
A month.
Oh, I was gonna say, I thought she was pretty fresh, right? So,
Mhm.
yeah, so no, I think that would help her get to know people as well.
So you're doing from Rossport to Jackfish?
Well, Peace Flat, First Nation to Jackfish, is our catchment area. In all reality, we've never had a business in Peace Flat
Be a member.
join the chamber, be a member of the chamber. I don't know,
Maybe we should-
Jackfish we have had,
Maybe we should send
Yeah.
them to, who is it,
Well, the-
Healy?
yeah,
Or
Dwayne
is
Healy,
it,
yeah.
Kaya?
Kaya.
Is that
yeah.
who's in charge? Yeah,
I
what does
think so.
Dwayne do?
I think Dwayne's
He
accounting.
does accounting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think
Who's
it's
Kaya?
Kaya,
Daytona?
more so, yeah.
Yeah, I know it's Daytona.
More so, yeah.
Okay.
I thought Daytona was her middle name. Oh.
And in reality, there is a business in Peace Flat,
Yeah,
the gas
there's
stations there.
more than one
They got
business.
gas
There's the
stations.
wood business,
Yeah.
there is the fish business.
Yeah,
There's more than, yeah, there's
Yeah.
a few.
Yeah, no,
And
for
just
sure.
even have them as a community, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, they're a great,
So if you're
great
taking
partner.
that
And then
person around,
Rossport.
Yeah.
Rossport, we usually have a few, usually
Yeah.
have a
Yeah,
handful.
the dip usually always does. The
and
end's kinda,
Captain's opened the
Yeah.
Forget-Me-Not or
yeah,
the pottery on the island
Yeah.
and
yeah, no, for sure.
Still reaching out.
Yeah, good. Okay, item number D, chamber banking update. So we, the banks are such a pain in the, I hope they're listening. So we did open up the new bank account at Bank of Montreal. Pros and cons. So, so two of us, Beth Ann and I went the first round to open the account. They wouldn't take our letter of our first meeting as us as directors. So the business registry they had online had like Stan Spinoni Senior,
Oh my God.
Chucky that used to run Chuck Charge at Rossport, Michael Bino. So thank God Mike Bino's still around. So I called Mike and said, hey, are you around? Can you come to the bank? So Mike Bino had to help us open up the bank account, sign off. He's not a signing authority, so
That's absolutely insane.
it's nuts.
Get some random person.
Yeah, but he's listed as a director from the
Yeah.
registry from 30
Yeah,
years ago,
no, I
right?
know.
And I went online and tried to update the registry. I've updated the registry. I hit submit, but it goes nowhere. So I'm obviously missing a step. Our staff person will have to help us out with that. So, I mean, we're still listed as a registered business, but we haven't been updated in 30 years. So figure that one out. I got no idea. But so at any rate, so as soon as the account's set up, which should be any day,
Do
Lucy's
we
gonna
still
let me know.
need to go sign too?
Yes. Yes.
Do I have to make an appointment for that? Do you know?
Yes.
Okay.
So once I know from Lucy, then I'll, and
Okay.
the bonus is now that we've got the account set up, all four of us have to go in and re-sign, even though I've been in there. The bonus is we don't have to do it together. She just said, once the account's set up, then you guys can come in as long as it's within a week. I said, okay, well, we can do that. Trying to get four people together, good luck, right?
Yeah, it's not
So, and then luckily it's Lucy. Lucy will, she'll help us out, right? So that's the good news. Right now, there's no money sitting in the account. We haven't ordered checks yet, but we're gonna have to very soon because we're gonna have a staff person to pay. CIBC in Thunder Bay, have you been in already? to
No, I'm
sign?
going in at the end of the month.
Okay, yeah,
You?
so yeah, I'll have to, next time I'm up there, have to go back in and
Oh,
sign.
okay.
I set up my profile, now I have
Yes,
to go
now
back
you
and
have to go
sign.
back in and sign, yeah.
So it's a pain. So ultimately, like we said, we have to leave the gift certificate account there for now. We're down to
$1 a month,
Oh,
no, $6 a
$6
month
a
and
month,
$1 a
says.
transaction.
Yeah. So
So
there
it's still
shouldn't
so
be
much-
any-
Are they retro?
No, they legally can't do that, which is
It
the
was
biggest
illegal.
crock. So Lucy said to us, the banks cannot rebate fees. But magically, in the same conversation, she says, well, don't worry about these 3 months fees, I'm gonna waive them. So I'm looking at her laughing, thinking, well, you can't reverse fees, so how are you gonna, well, it's internally. I'm thinking, well, exactly, so.
Don't forget your passport, because he needed his second born and his first born and, oh, yeah.
Yeah. So at any rate, our gift certificate account did not get any fees reimbursed, which totally sucks, but it is what it is. I mean, so, yeah, so.
It's just for us to go, so it's for us to go sign for Jason, for people to be off that account that we had put
Yes.
on, and
Yeah.
for us to be able to get that account
Yes.
again. That's what the signing is for.
Yeah, and then I'll have to find out ASAP what the process is to close out our checking account at CIBC. Basically, I'm hoping we can just do a letter of direction and mail it to them or email it to them. I don't know.
And make sure you find out your banking date, because if you pull out, if your cycle's the 20th,
Yeah.
you pull out 21st,
Yeah,
you'll get a letter in 10 years, you owe them $10,000 fees because you
okay.
had closed that account.
Oh, interesting.
So make sure you find out what your
Okay, yeah.
I think,
cycle, your
I
I know
think,
what you're saying.
if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, I think, like, I don't think they actually, like, give us the money. They literally
Well, it'll be-
change it from bank to bank,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like,
like
we're not
internal
allowed to-
transfer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I wasn't sure if we get a
No,
bank
no,
draft.
no, no,
Bank
no,
was
no,
on the
no,
Chamber of
they do it
Commerce.
all
Yes,
internally,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
interesting, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, which is
Yeah.
good.
yeah.
And for a fee, I'm pretty sure.
probably.
Well, again, it is what it is, I mean, we're
So
moving
much
banks.
for every $1,000.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You have $2 left.
Well, even our checking account, I mean, it's unbelievable how much you pay a fee, an extra fee now to deposit cash.
Yeah.
You pay an extra fee to deposit change, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, what is it, like, what's the, no wonder they make $1 billion a quarter, right? I mean, it's just, it's
And there's a
crazy.
fee if you want your money deposited that day.
Yeah.
Like for like ATM machines and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it's down.
That's interesting. So right now we're on kind of the cheapest plan we can get, but again, we're fairly limited to what we can do. So, I mean, that's fine. We'll just make sure our staff person isn't running over every day depositing a check because we're allowed like 6 deposits a month. Well, that's fine. You go once a week or every second week.
Yeah.
We're not doing that many deposits, right? Membership drive is a lot. Other than that, you don't do much banking.
No.
So, but yeah, so that's the banking update. So that's good news. The only other, do I have it on here? Oh, I do. Okay, good. So new business, Ontario Chamber of Commerce. So I do have brochures here that I'm going to leave the directors to take home and give some thoughts to whether we want to join the Ontario Chamber of Commerce or not. Back in the day, 15, 20 years ago, we joined the Ontario Chamber of Commerce automatically for the biggest reason was they had the cheapest director's insurance, director's liability insurance. They don't even offer it anymore. That was the only reason why I really called them, is we need director's liability insurance. Well, we don't even do that anymore, she said. I'm like, oh man, really? So, you know, they're offering us right now $5 per member. You pay so if we have 100 members, you pay $5 per member to belong to the OCC this year, and then normally it's $10 per member. So a lot of places will put, your membership fee is $100, $10 is an additional fee we're charging you to be a member of the OCC. I mean, we've always just built it into our membership rates, whatever. So I don't know if I'm jumping for joy and jumping up in the air to be an OCC member. There are some benefits, but I don't know yet if it's something we want to jump all over. But like I said, everyone review it. I haven't reviewed totally what it is. They do have some programs, these affinity programs that, if we're a member, our members benefit from as well.
Table it, when review it.
Yeah,
table it to next
yeah,
meeting,
that's the plan. Yeah, review it and we'll talk about it at the next meeting, so. Okay, so item number B, student bursary. It's more or less just there for thought, because I don't think we've got a letter from the school. We've probably dropped off of their radar. We haven't done it in the last few years.
So we can definitely maybe call if we were interested.
Yeah, the only thing, because we're only April, I think it's usually like end April, May. So the Aguasabon Chamber always used to give a bursary to a student for $250 that was pursuing business in a post-secondary program. Preference was given, I believe the criteria of preference was given to like a northern college or university, right? We wanted to kind of keep them in the north. So, again, right now we've got money in the bank and money's not an issue. So my thought is, do we want to offer this we call it the Leslie Dixon bursary. Wasn't a memorial one because she's still alive, so we don't want to kill her off. Do we want to offer a bursary again?
I think so, yeah.
I think so.
Is it? Yeah. Okay. So I think we should for sure.
I think that looks great that you're supporting a student, you're supporting local, and the money's going to a student who's going into hopefully,
Yeah, business and
Business,
ideally
yeah.
staying in the north,
Yep.
right? That's always the thing. Okay. So can
Do we want to offer a little bit more this year? Or do you want to stick with 250?
I think if you do 5, they'll expect 5.
Yeah.
That's the only
If you
catch.
stay
Right?
at 250, then that's in your
Just-
budget.
And I think worst case scenario, like again, this is the first year. Like realistically, like we don't have a budget yet. We've got to feel. I mean, if our staff person does awesome, he runs some events and makes some extra money. Hey, good, we can share the wealth, so to speak, right? I know in the past we've got lots of letters looking for donations. We're here for our members. We're not here to sponsor things per se, but this is investing in a child in business, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So ideally, can we make a motion then tonight to offer $250 for the bursary, for the LSHS bursary. Motion. Sonia will move. Seconded by Carrie. Okay, got that. All in favor? Opposed, if any? See none? Okay, good, carried, thank you. Awesome. Item C, so job description. As we do, Celia, I wanna take one of these and pass them around, I guess. So again, we don't technically, and as we told the young lady that when we interviewed her, we don't technically have a job description per se, but we do have a long list of, duties we expect her to do. Which again, I mean, I think this job is going to be kind of growing and evolving as the months go on, time goes on. She's working with myself and Sylvie. So I don't know necessarily if we totally need a firm job description or, duties include kind of laying it out pretty good, pretty clearly what it is. And I think as long as she's in close contact with myself and Sylvie throughout the month, we're giving her her task list. And in theory, after every meeting, she's gonna have a task list. I mean, the agenda is gonna dictate what she's running with and what she's doing, right?
So just for you should have in here other duties as assigned at the bottom.
Well,
Because right now, this is stipulating this is her job description.
Yeah, other duties as assigned.
I thought we got that.
Put in that.
I didn't read it.
Or in the, this is the ad itself though, right?
Yeah.
Assisting event information, assisting organizing
Yeah,
demand.
there's nothing there.
Oh, okay, so no, other duties as assigned. Yeah, no, good idea, just to.
Your rumpus.
Yeah. Well, and in theory, when we offer her the job, like we're gonna give her a job offer, I mean, essentially this will be part of the offering. So that way, it is laid out what's expected of her, so, but yes, I will add that, that's a good idea. Thanks, Aaron. Any other comments, questions about that one? No, okay. Item number D, so this will be a big one in the next month. The Chamber gift certificate account reconciliation. So essentially, we're probably going on, what do you think, Sil, at least 8 years? Probably. 8 years where the Chamber gift certificate account has not been reconciled, so we really don't have a true idea of how many gift certificates are still floating around out there. I know we definitely have a few. I know Ann Miller reached out to Sylvie when we were just talking about getting the chamber up and running again. She has some, and hey, I want my money. I mean, I get it, but until we're totally up and running, well, no one's getting any money yet. But I mean, obviously it's legal tender. We owe that money. We'll write you a check, no problem. But we have to have an idea of what is potentially out there. Again, I go back to the original thing, and I don't know what they started the gift certificate account with. I don't know if there was a $1,000 buffer in there, a $5,000 buffer, I don't know.
Is that not being manned at our office? Like Shelley has a box of those chamber gift
She's got the old, like the new gift certificates, not the old ones. We've got all the old cash ones. So we'll need those boxes just to see where the number ended up, right? But we've got a big binder that, listed every number, and we check them off as they come in. But again, the scary thing was it was revenue neutral. $50 come in, here's your $50 chamber gift certificate. You went to Sylvie, got a haircut, here's my $50, right? You broke even. So, I mean, if the bank charges a couple $1,000s in fees, are we in the hole a couple $1,000? We got to figure this out, right? Anyways, yeah. So at some point in the next probably month, we'll be looking for a couple of volunteers to basically start, open the envelopes. Okay, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 50. Check it off. So it's a bit of a monotonous, crappy job for sure. And the other option is we basically pay our staff person to do it, but I don't know if
It'll never get done.
No,
It'll never get done.
Yeah.
8 years?
That's a waste of money.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, if you're paying,
We need to
paying
help
money,
her.
Yeah.
We need to help her.
because she could be doing that for.
Scones and wine?
Yeah, there you go.
I'm in.
After the count, we don't want to be. We're counting here. Yeah, we got to redo after lunchtime.
Is it an
Yeah.
8 or 0?
So yeah, so look for that email probably in the next month and a half. And there's not a huge panic, but definitely we have to get this done.
If we want to get the gift certificate thing going again,
Yeah.
it needs to get done before
So
we.
we should pick a date then, some point soon.
Yeah.
A Saturday or something.
Yeah.
Let's get the new gal on board first and get the membership stuff going and that, and then we'll.
It's
Yeah, 'cause
important, but
Yeah, like I definitely want to do it ideally before May long, right? Once, before everyone heads to camping and all that stuff, right? Sledding's pretty much over, this is the
Right,
last
just like
weekend.
that, done.
That's crazy, like, I thought we'd 2 more weekends.
We went out fishing and almost couldn't get back,
Yeah.
literally,
crazy.
that
Yeah.
was.
Unreal. Bring a canoe. So yeah, so we'll definitely do that. On the chamber gift certificate idea is just, I want to add though that I definitely want to pursue with our staff person, because she's young and has lots of neat ideas. I still want to see the chamber gift certificate program going in some form or another, right? Because it keeps the money here. Because you go buy a Visa gift card, well, they buy a Visa gift card at Costas, then they go to Superstore and spend or whatever, right? I mean, if we can come up with some sort of a program, now whether it's a gift certificate, whether it's a gift card, I don't know. It's got to be reasonable cost-wise. That's the challenge.
Reloadable gift cards would be really.
Yeah, but then the only problem is I don't know if they can do it on their terminals. Do you need a special terminal?
None of us have terminals.
That's right, there's always a
Yeah.
trick to everything.
Unless, again, if there's a big cost to do it, does the chamber look at going out and getting a grant to do that? We want to buy 50 terminals and, a bunch of gift cards through a grant program.
Right.
So it doesn't cost us anything or near nothing. I don't know. It's just something to explore, but I think it's super important. Like, I can't remember the last tally we had, it was in the millions of dollars, was it not? That was repatriated within the community? I mean, the mill at Christmas time would buy $30,000 for the chamber gift certificates as part of their Christmas bonus. So it was huge. I mean, there's
People got
safety awards.
$200-300
You know what they
worth
are.
of gift cards.
Yeah, it looked like basically just a check for
Just-
$50.
yeah.
With this logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For my-
Gift certificate.
Yeah.
There's
So
just
I
on
mean,
thick card stock, there was a number on it, it was
Yeah.
very simple.
so the business deposit, it was a check
It was a
from our checking
Yeah.
account, and
Okay.
So an idea. The Marathon offers something similar, but their tender, the business collects it. Then you've got to go to the chamber office. Here's my $300 worth, and they write you a check for $300. To me, that's too manpower. I mean, it's probably the cheapest way of doing it, but you definitely need a staff person or some poor volunteer that's willing to,
Or even like quarterly, January to end of March, get them in. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Or the mill. I mean, the mill used to do, I think it was Thursday afternoons at lunch there. I can't remember, Leah or whatever her name was, would come down in the cash box. You'd stroll into the main lunchroom with all your meal tickets and you'd cash them all in, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anyways, it's just something that we can brainwave and our new gal, if she
or if you
come up with
guys
some neat
think of
ideas.
something, see something, anything, something for not for profit. Maybe
Yeah.
there's something out there for us that we don't know about. Like I don't know, but
Kenora does something really ingenious, and I can't remember what it is, but I will reach out to,
Well, they had like moose bucks or something years
Yes.
ago.
but I can't remember how it worked. But I'm gonna contact Ryan and
And I remember Kenora at one point too, they were offering, almost every year, once in a while, they'd offer like a coin, like a souvenir token. And it was legal tender in Kenora, but most people bought them as
but
souvenirs.
it was a toonie. It was worth $2. It's all
Yeah,
worth.
yeah.
There
So it
was
was-
a tree on it, and
Yeah. No, again, I want something more than $2 one. I want $50.
but for a souvenir, you're.
Yeah, no, that's right, for souvenir, yeah. The only catch with that is, again, if it's some sort of legal tender, you're on the hook forever. It's like our chamber gift certificates right now.
Oh, yeah.
That's the catch, right?
I know, I might be missing like where you're going, but like I know in Dryden, one of the biggest fundraisers they had was more the local high school for their grad. They sold, it was like a gift card,
Mhm.
and it was plastic with some corners that broke off,
Oh,
and
yeah.
each business sponsored. So like Dairy Queen, you got a free large ice cream for the price of a small. Then it was get a free pop at Pizza Hut.
So that's more of a fundraiser than trying to sell gift card to support local. But that's a fabulous
that's a really
idea.
cool
But just-
idea.
And the local businesses, some it was just present this card and you get 10% off your
Oh,
order.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
just different things.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
up to the business to decide what they want to offer.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Well,
but
You
that's,
have to
you
be a
know,
chamber member to have a membership to offer
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, no,
It's
for
pretty
sure.
cool.
I like that.
So, but it's just, that was the biggest thing people loved about, the biggest bonus to be a chamber member was that. And like I said, we'd get the
But the
Sylvie.
chamber bucks are different than what she's saying.
No, I 100%.
That is a huge revenue booster.
Yeah,
But I'm just thinking it might help offset
potentially, it
Yes.
could be
costs
Yep.
running
similar
the
to
chamber
that, right?
bus. I don't know, like, it
Yeah.
just seems unfair that we're paying bank fees.
Yeah.
and not recovering it
Yeah.
somehow.
And I mean, we're gonna keep our operating account here, obviously, because we need to deposit, it's easier, we wanna promote local, also the Dirty Dogs become a chamber member. But I mean, again, nothing saying potentially, I mean, you can go to some of these online banks that are free, and I don't know what they have for unlimited checks, but I mean, if we're gonna go back to the old check type of program, well, maybe it is President's Choice Banking or Tangerine or whatever they are now. I mean, I don't have one of those accounts.
So how do we deposit money in there though?
You can transfer, you could do a transfer. You gotta be careful because sometimes the transfer costs you money to do it. So you'd have to kind of keep an eye, or worst case, you'd start up with your seed money of $5,000 or $2,000 of seed money right away. And then once a month, you do your tally up and transfer over. I mean, there's tons of different ideas. It's just something we definitely should be exploring for sure, so. Cool, okay. Item number E, new computer options / budget. So when the chamber got back up and hired a staff person, seems like 3 years ago, but it was probably 10 or 12. The chamber went and bought a used computer for the purpose of the staff person to do their duties. The downside is the computer is now, as everyone's well aware, after 10 years, I mean, it's basically a boat anchor now. I mean, it's not even worth trying to upgrade this thing.
It was already a refurbished computer.
Yeah, and my thought nowadays of trying to buy a refurbished computer, unless you've got a tech person that wants to re-scrub it and redo it every month, I'm not even interested. I want something new that runs.
If you
Computers,
went to Northern Computers and spoke to them and say, this is the basics, this is what we need, we don't need,
yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's why
That's sorry.
that's why I've got
Right,
bunches listed,
yeah.
right? Yeah. Because I mean, we don't want to spend a couple thousand
No.
on a computer. I mean, I like to keep it under 1,000 myself.
But that's
We
like-
don't need a big fancy, like we bought
Not for
kids this big
gaming.
gaming computer. Well, no, we need something like, but.
Yeah,
What a
Costco
deal.
Costco's writing the price for the HP 15 inches, $5.99. They come on sale often for $4.99.
Well, I know. And now, on that note, I mean, it doesn't hurt to talk to Brian for sure.
Yeah, just see. what
And again, I mean, the catch-22 is the chamber's here to promote local
Yeah, I was
business.
gonna say,
But you gotta be
so-
careful.
But you go in and you show them, this is the price, this is the
Yeah.
computer,
Yeah.
can you match it or come in close to the same type of computer?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
It's only fair to go to a business
Yeah.
and give them the
Give
opportunity.
it up.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and I mean, again, he might say point blank, because a lot of times nowadays, the business here can't compete, they'll tell you right away, I can't compete, head to Best Buy or head to
Yeah,
wherever.
which
you
is
know what I
fine,
mean?
but at
Yeah.
least
You offer.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, really.
And that
hard to
goes
compete with.
a million miles.
Yeah.
When someone hears, oh, so-and-so went here and
went
bought.
straight there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, the municipalities all have a purchasing policy. I mean, they've got, the 3-quote system, and I mean, again, it's fair. I mean, speaking of lobbying from the chamber, we've lobbied in the past for local business, but with the town said point blank, we have a purchasing policy. It's 10 or 20% depending on the municipality, and I mean, if they can get it at 30% cheaper out of town, it's our tax dollars. They have to be wise with our tax dollars. Right? It's no different than us. We have to be wise with our membership dollars, right? So, like I'm thinking, if we're thinking $500-600, let's say on sale, like, do we put a max budget of $1,000? And I'm thinking computer and hardware. Like, I'd like to have an external zip drive. You should buy them for $50 now, just so you have everything backed up on the computer.
Are they gonna get a
Plus,
printer?
how much printing are we really
And I was
going
gonna
to
say,
do?
No, but we can buy our own paper. We
Yeah.
can buy you an ink
Yeah.
cartridge.
You can also
That's no
come
big deal.
to Superior North, and I'm sure,
The library as well.
Yeah,
well,
we've
in
also-
kind contribution through.
Yeah.
So,
And or if our staff person is willing to use their own printer, we buy them the paper and the ink.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like, I know
Yeah.
the food bank pays for my mother's ink and buys
Yeah.
her paper. I mean, printers nowadays are, you buy a printer for $50, you know what I mean? Like, so
They're
you
disposable.
And you're buying another one the month
that's
later.
right,
Other
because
than
the ink
cheaper
cartridge costs too
Yeah.
much.
Yes.
Yeah, that's to get you. So, but yeah, no, I'm not worried about a printer, but definitely a computer.
So
and a zip.
like how would we go about, like, do we tell Northern Computers what we're looking for, or do we let him give us what he can offer us? Like,
I think you get her to print off the specs of what she can get at Costco, and you bring in and they say, this is the computer, the laptop I can get. Can you match it or come close?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Because he's gonna know what the specs are off of, like.
Yeah.
yeah.
So-
Because it has to have like Windows. Like,
Yeah, but
like
you also have to
Word,
compare apple to
uh,
apples.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't-
Oh, no, 100%. Yeah. So, no, I think that's the fairest way of doing it. is $1,000 too much? Like, I don't want to go, my own personal opinion, it's just me, I don't want to go over 1,000, I don't want to get crazy, because
But I
again, 4
mean,
years.
software is very expensive.
Yeah. Well, let's start at 1,000.
like-
If we can't, then we've got to come back to the table.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because again, the like
Carry-
software's
And like
come down in
we
price.
need, like, what software are we looking for? Like,
Yeah. Well, we need office software.
We need
So
an office, we need
Word,
an
we need
accountant
Excel,
too.
we need like.
But do you need publisher? Like, do you need to be able to make gift certificates? Do you need to be able to
No,
make posters? Do
Not
you need?
right away.
Okay.
And again, we can buy that afterwards, right? Because those are third-party programs anyway. You're not going to buy a computer.
well, no,
with
it's
stuff on it.
it's a whole package.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It's a whole package. It all comes together.
Oops.
I think 1,000 is good, because mine is,
Like it's Word,
plus-
Excel.
Plus the software is 150 something, so it
I'm
goes.
trying to think of what I
Is
have
this
on
so
there.
a yearly?
And then sometimes you have to pay a yearly fee too, right? Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
keep it updated and
I subscribe to Office, the Microsoft Office 365, but that I use it extensively, the word processor, the Excel, you can do it online, you're on Drive, and it's about, for me, it's about $9 a month.
Well, it's us. So it's
9?
not bad.
Yeah,
oh.
Yeah. But I just do it as a one person.
it's much cheaper.
Oh, okay.
So it depends on what you're.
What you want to use it with.
What
and
yeah.
I don't have to worry about updates because they're all automatically updated, but.
Yeah.
So if you want for just one computer, it's expensive to the old ways when you used to spend $400
Yeah.
for just Word.
Yeah. Because it's come down huge in price. It's not as
But
easy.
there's also the small business and student versions.
Yeah.
You have to evaluate what you want. And
Yeah,
there's
shop
different
around
options, how many users and so.
So there you go. I didn't realize there was different versions of there either. So
Yeah.
maybe there may be a business version out there. Who knows?
Yeah. Especially for the updates. Because I think if you can buy a computer with the software on it, but then he needs to
We need to
potentially
settle
update.
this conversation.
coffee.
So at any rate, okay, so well, let's start with $1,000 then.
Okay.
Yeah, so ideally, let's get a motion on the floor then to spend no more than $1,000 purchasing a laptop for the Aguasabon Chamber. I need a mover. Is there anyone online that wants to move that? Beth will move that.
Beth Scott.
Now Scott, yeah.
Okay.
I think the others have dropped off maybe. Anyways, and a seconder?
second.
Clarito second that? Okay, good. All in favor? Opposed, if any? None? Okay, good. So there we go. So we'll start shopping. Not too quickly though, because we've got no money in the checking account yet, so let's not get too carried away. Item number F, so any other new business, anything anyone else wants to bring to the floor? I will just talk quickly about what Clary was talking about at the beginning of the meeting before we were kind of all at the table. It's just, yeah, so we will definitely be looking at doing things, not necessarily like, you know, like a gala, but for sure, you know, like I said, once a year, for sure, we have to have an AGM. So potentially at the AGM, we'll do like we used to do, where we'd have a nice dinner. We bring the, you know, the economic development person, people from like each town out. They give a presentation about what's going on in their towns. Potentially we bring the mill in to talk about what's going on in the mill, CPRL, or higher, whatever it was, right? So at least it was a nice meal out. It was an update, because a lot of times the business community doesn't necessarily know what's going on in their own backyard, right? So that's definitely something I think we should continue doing. It's just a matter of whether we decide. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah. So like I said, it'll be a busy month here. I'll call our gal, or you and I will talk about that, for who's calling her. Yeah, we'll get her hitting the ground running hard. I'm assuming she's got her own computer, so worst case scenario, we'll have to get her to use her own computer.
Well, our computer still works for now.
Oh, does it?
Just-
Okay.
Yeah, it's still
Yeah.
it's fine. It's
It's
just ginormous
Get
and
sluggish.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it needs to be updated. It's
Um,
ridiculous.
Lights dim when you turn it on.
Yeah. The only other thing we didn't factor in at all is, like, obviously the chamber doesn't have a cell phone, we don't have an office space. Most people nowadays have a data plan, so I mean, there's unlimited long distance. So we'll just have to find out if she's comfortable using her own phone to call business people. Does she want her number published? Worst case, it'll just be the chamber's email address, you know what I mean? Like, we'll figure that stuff out too.
Create an email address, like.
Oh, it is, we already got one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
a Gmail account
Okay.
already, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
So, other than she will have to get out and talk to business people and, you know, call from your own phone kind of thing, right? I don't think it'll be an issue, but we'll cross that bridge. And again, if she wants a workspace for a day, she can come to Spinoni's, and I'll stick her in one of the offices there, she use the phone there, I mean, whatever, it's not a big deal. So, okay, item number 7, report of the committee of the whole closed session. So 7.1, that the Aguasabon Chamber of Commerce, the Aguasabon Chamber Committee of the Whole in-camera closed session reports be adopted, including amended confidential minutes from this meeting held at the regular board meeting, April 12th, 2023. So can I get a mover and a seconder to accept the minutes from our closed session? Sonia and Carrie, good. All in favor? Unanimous, good, carried, thank you. Correspondence, there's none that I'm aware of, Asil. Was there anything in the mail that we had to worry about?
Junk, and then just the 2 CIBC things I said, and then the
Well, the chamber plan there, yeah.
Johnson Group.
Yeah. And I've already messaged them and emailed them our new banking info, so I'm hoping by next month our little commission from the group insurance plan gets into our Bank of Montreal account, not the CIBC account.
You get $120 every month.
Yeah, so which is a bonus there, right?
Hopefully we'll be able to rope some more.
Yes, yeah, which would be
Businesses.
good. Next meeting, so obviously we will have the open house, the business after 5. But I'm thinking next meeting, are we looking kind of like mid-May, like the 17th of May is a Wednesday?
Works perfect for me.
Does that work good for you? Is that all right for
Works
everyone?
for me.
So it will be in Terrace Bay for that meeting.
May 2nd, is it?
17th.
17.
17th, 7 p.m. and it'll be in Terrace. Yeah, so we'll book a room and then just another note of interest. So on May 25th, it's tentative so far, or I think it's tentative, right?
I think it's a go,
It's a
but
go,
it's
just they're gonna promote it more.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a go.
So the Township of Scriber is going to be hosting a business meeting with all the Scriber businesses. The township is hosting it, basically have a town hall meeting with them. They've invited the chamber to come out and do a talk on the chamber. Why is the chamber important? What does the chamber do? All that kind of fun stuff. So, I mean, 100%, I definitely told Anne Marie that I will definitely be there. Sylvie's been working with Kim Dargavel with that as well. So I'll let you know when that date is, and I mean, if anyone wants to attend from the chamber, I mean, we'll,
Oh, there we go.
show a united force, so to speak. Again, I think they just want a short, sweet presentation, so, which is fine, so, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
And so next meeting is the 17th, and I need a motion to adjourn.
Pick me.
Carrie, thank you. Carrie moves that we adjourn.